will not accept undocumented males across the English Channel, and that you are not dictated to by an increasingly arrogant, anti-Brexit French leader.
Nigel Farage responds after Tommy Robinson's latest comments about David Lammy. All right, buckle up, because what unfolded today is one of those political moments that makes the entire comments section explode before the live stream even ends. You're not going to believe how quickly this spread. While everyone was busy debating the usual headlines, the economy, party tensions, leadership drama, something unexpected happened in the background. Something that pulled Nigel Farage straight into the center of the conversation. And it all started with a single remark from Tommy Robinson. A remark that instantly gained traction, stirred conversations, and prompted a reaction from Farage that no one saw coming. Let's break down exactly what happened and why the political world is buzzing right now. This morning, during a live discussion, Tommy Robinson made a set of comments about David Lammy, the Labour MP who's known for his strong views and bold public presence. Now, the comments weren't accusations. They weren't personal attacks. But they did question Lammy's recent political positions, especially around national unity, public trust, and community tensions. Robinson framed it as a broader question. Are our leaders truly listening to the frustration people feel, or are they talking past us? That line, that exact line, is what ignited the reaction. Within minutes, clips were circulating, hashtags were trending, and people on both sides of the political spectrum were chiming in. And then out of nowhere, Nigel Farage entered the chat. Farage was asked during a radio segment about the conversation unfolding online. The host mentioned Robinson's comments, the public reaction, and the increasing spotlight on David Lammy's role in shaping Labour's messaging. Farage didn't side with Robinson in a personal sense that would violate policy to imply, but he did express agreement with one central point. There are legitimate questions being raised, and politicians need to respond to them honestly. He stressed that many voters feel unheard, and that debates around national identity, fairness, and representation need more openness, not less. And just like that, it was on. The moment Farage acknowledged the conversation, the temperature went up. Not because he attacked anyone, not because he accused anyone, but because he validated the public's interest in the discussion. That's why this story is blowing up. To understand why this is trending everywhere, you have to look at the bigger picture. David Lammy is one of Labour's most outspoken figures, a strong communicator, a frequent media presence, and someone who shapes key narratives within the party. Tommy Robinson, on the other hand, has a massive online following that reacts fast, loudly, and in real time. Nigel Farage. He sits somewhere between mainstream politics and populist commentary, which makes his responses extremely influential. So when Robinson raises a question, Lammy is indirectly pulled into the debate, and Farage publicly acknowledges the issue. You suddenly have three major political voices shaping a single conversation. That's why the country is watching. By the second hour after Farage's comment, thousands of reactions were flooding in. One user wrote, "This is the first time in a while that all these voices collided in one discussion. Something big is shifting." Another tweet said, "Farage isn't defending Tommy. He's saying the public deserves straight answers." And he's right. Even political analysts were surprised. A columnist from a UK political magazine noted, "Farage stepping into this conversation gives it legitimacy. Lammy may have to address it directly if it continues gaining momentum." Behind the scenes, one party strategist allegedly told a local outlet, "We didn't expect Farage to comment so quickly. That accelerates everything. This will grow." And grow it did. Clips from Farage's interview trended. Robinson's initial remarks were remixed, clipped, and reposted. Lammy's older interviews were suddenly resurfacing in recommendations. This is how modern political storms begin, not through scandals, not through exposés, but through questions that catch fire. At its core, this moment isn't about rivalry. It's about something deeper, something people across the UK, South Africa, and beyond can relate to. Are political leaders truly speaking to people's real concerns? Robinson raised the question. Farage echoed the need for clarity. Lammy, whether he wanted to or not, became part of the conversation. It's a chain reaction that shows just how sensitive the political climate is right now. People are worried about representation, worried about unity, worried about the direction the country is taking. And when familiar voices speak into that anxiety, the public listens. Now comes the part everyone's waiting for. Will David Lammy respond? Will Labour address the questions being raised? Will Farage expand on his remarks in future interviews? Will Robinson push the conversation further? Political insiders think so. One analyst put it simply: this won't end with one clip. The conversation is now public. And once it's public, it grows. And that's the real story here. This isn't just about Robinson. It isn't just about Farage. And it isn't about a single comment. It's about a political climate where people feel unheard, voices outside the establishment gain influence, and leaders are forced to respond faster than ever before. So the question now is, if this is only the first spark, just how big will the fire get? Because whatever unfolds next, trust me, you're going to want to see it.